Hello?
Rae?
Yes, mommy.
I hope you've been staying up to date with Peru. You need to go ahead and cancel that flight or else you're going to be stuck there. I hear they're closing the international borders. This thing isn't a joke. You need to take this seriously and protect yourself.
Alright, now it's time for business. If you've been thinking, is it safe to travel during the coronavirus? Then keep watching this video because I'm going to have all the answers for you and how to best go about traveling during this pandemic. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Go ahead and click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with all travel news and opportunities, as well as episodes that I'll be posting in the future. And for those of you who are not new to my channel, welcome back and thank you so much for supporting me and helping me reach my first 1,000 views on YouTube. Now let's get to the video. You may have stumbled across this video because you recently searched, can I travel during the coronavirus? I know many of you are in need of a vacation, or you may be planning your hot girl summer birthday getaway, or you're like me, someone who just started a culture-geared travel channel and all international borders are closed. Well, if any of the reasons I'm about to mention apply to you, then the short answer is no. If not, however, keep watching so you can see how to best go about travel during this time. Number 1, are you high risk? High risk can range from just being of an older age to having underlying health conditions like I do. If so, and you don't feel comfortable with traveling, then don't go. Number 2, what's really going on? We don't really have all the facts, truths, and answers about this thing and how it spreads. So if you don't trust everything that you hear in the media, then it's just safe to not go. Number 3, can you stay for a prolonged amount of time? In the event you get stuck or have to stay longer than expected, is that something you can afford or handle? Will it impact your job or your home? If that's the case, then it's safer not to go. And lastly, and honestly the most important in my book, number 4, boundaries. Are you willing to respect and abide by the necessary travel safety requirements like wearing a mask or social distancing put in place by the state or the country that you visit? If no, then stay your ass home. Now, if after listening to those reasons and you're like, I'll just travel domestically, or if they just don't apply to you at all, then go ahead and keep watching so you can have all the necessary information to support your travel. So I asked my followers on Instagram to submit their current travel concerns. So one of the first concerns was submitted by Samaria Jamila, and her concern said, travel restrictions and maybe getting stuck somewhere or just not having many options. To that, my answer would be mindful of what you may have to do in order to travel. Many places are requiring that you present a qualifying negative COVID-19 test at most 14 days or at least 72 hours prior to getting to your destination. If you're unable to test prior to getting to your destination, many airports have facilities where you can test in the airport, and it will be a requirement. And possibly quarantine for the duration of your stay or 14 days, whichever one is shorter, until your results come back. You may also be required to download a COVID-19 contact tracing app on your phone so that you can be monitored during your stay. This is an effort to stay up to date with where you've been and if you've been in contact with someone who has recently tested positive for the coronavirus. So before booking your flight, make sure you look into the specific stipulations your destination is carrying in order to protect themselves while still supporting their tourism industry. And as far as possibly getting stuck, this is very much a possibility. The state of travel is certainly going to change, and it's going to change rapidly. As you may have caught in the phone call with my mom earlier, I was supposed to be going to Peru at the end of August. I was going to be staying with a local, my grandmother, Martha. My mama Martha came to visit her daughter back in January of this year, with a return date of April. Since April, her flight has been pushed back several times, until most recently she received a notification that Peru has closed their international borders until January 2021. That means Martha is currently stuck here in the United States. It would be a full year that she has been here. So far, 33 countries have closed their borders to the United States. I'll go ahead and I'll drop the link to the website in the description below, as well as many countries and states in the United States are requiring a 2-week quarantine if you come and visit. My second concern comes from Des.Kiana, and Des wanted to know if it's better to book through Airbnb or is it best to go through a hotel. Alright, so this is going to be more of an opinion thing for me. Right now, if you do decide to travel, I am personally team Airbnb. Here's why. With everything going on, I find it imperative to support local businesses. Many Airbnb hosts depend on the revenue from their listings. If you could put your money into supporting them rather than a bigger name hotel, then just do so. Again, this is just a personal opinion. My second reason for Airbnb is right now Airbnb has strict regulations for hosts and their listings. I'm gonna read this from what a recent host has sent me when I asked and inquired. Hosts can elect to commit to enhanced cleaning protocol, and they actually get a badge placed in their listing for doing so. What this means is that there is a 5-step process that hosts must follow in order to host their stay when it comes to cleaning and sanitizing. Additionally, hosts are required to wait 24 hours before entering the space after a guest has left. In between bookings, there's actually a setting that blocks a day before and after all bookings before they can be reopened for listing. Axel Castillo's concern was, I've heard that at least in Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, 15 TSA people tested positive for it. This is a very valid concern. These are people who you will interact with, people who will touch your things, or if they're doing pat downs, if you're randomly selected, and all else that comes with the TSA screening process. I do believe they're all required to wear masks, at least from when I've been traveling, they have been wearing masks. And for the most part, they are always almost wearing gloves. Even despite the coronavirus, you typically see TSA personnel wearing gloves. Either way, this just further speaks about the importance of PPE, personal protective equipment. While traveling, I personally wear 2 masks throughout the entire duration of my journey. Of course, I carry my travel size hand sanitizer, and I pack sanitizing wipes to wipe down any frequently touched surfaces that I may encounter. Also, I just want to quickly touch on mask requirements. I just want to add, make sure you choose an airline that comfortably coincides with your personal mask wearing beliefs. Some airlines are not mandating masks, while others are. Some airlines are not requiring a space between seating, while others are enforcing that. In that regard, it will just come down to personal preferences like comfort, flexibility, and even price. So these are just all things to consider. Lastly, I just have some finalizing tips. While you're on the plane, turn the air conditioning above you all the way on. Recent studies suggest that doing so helps blow particles out of your immediate area. Another tip, flights that are enforcing social distancing by open seating on the plane don't really have a way to enforce it during deplaning. So that means when the plane lands and everybody's getting off the plane, everybody is bulked up in the aisle. So it's just a heads up, you may want to take some time and wait until everybody has come off the plane. Or maybe if you're willing to sacrifice a couple extra bucks, you can book a seat closer to the flight deck so you're amongst the first to leave the plane. So guys, these are just my tidbits of the state of travel right now. Don't forget, as far as domestic travel is concerned, you can always book an RV and go on a family road trip across the states. And ultimately, if the pros don't outweigh the cons for your upcoming voyage, then just stay put, at least for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Turn off post notifications so you can be alerted of all my future episodes as well as my vlogs that will talk about more travel topics. Stay safe, everyone, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the roads well traveled.